Welcome to 5-Minute Music. So I'm primarily a violinist, but I also love playing viola in quartet and chamber orchestra. I have a very beautiful viola, isn't she pretty? And basically, as a result of both being a violinist and a violist, I've heard a lot of viola jokes. Basically, my opinion on viola jokes is that they're fine. Most of the violists I know are just really chill, and as long as the joke isn't like actually mean, and if you say a viola joke, you still respect the violist in your ensemble, as long as it's truly all in good fun, I don't see an issue with it. But I do get tired of hearing the same viola joke over and over again, especially if it's not a very good one. So for today's video, I thought it would be productive to embark on a journey to find a good viola joke. So for the first part of that journey, I'm on Wikipedia, because there's literally an article on viola jokes. Viola jokes are thought to have originated in the 18th century. So that's kind of Mozart's time. If you look at a Mozart viola part, it's pretty much like a Mozart cello part. Not too difficult, mostly accompaniment. And so it says viola players were lowly paid and of low social standing. And then they have this absolutely brutal slander here about a violinist who was trying to conduct, but he was really unsteady, and so they just demoted him to playing viola. What I think is particularly interesting here is the external links section. This seems promising. Violajokes.com, viola joke generator. Alright, let's click for a joke. This one's okay. Did you hear about the violist who bragged that he could play 30-second notes? The rest of the orchestra didn't believe him, so he proved it by playing one. See, I think this joke can be taken in more of a positive light. This guy's just being clever and funny. Alright, next one. Oh, that one's mean. How does a violist's brain cell die? Alone. I mean, I feel like that could apply to most musicians. And then this is one of the ones that I see all the time. How do you get a violist to play a passage pianissimo tremolando? I've never heard the word tremolando outside of the context of this particular viola joke. Anyway, the punchline is market solo, because the bow would shake. It's not that funny. This one's good. What's the difference between a viola and a vacuum cleaner? A vacuum cleaner has to be plugged in before it sucks. I'm saving that one. In all seriousness here, the viola really is a nice instrument, and contrary to popular belief, it is a difficult instrument to play. Some of these aren't amazing, so here's the last one from violajoke.com. I love that someone made a website for this. It might have been a violist who made this too. If a tree falls on a viola in the forest and nobody hears it, is there a sound? Yes, the sound of applause. That's brutal. Alright, of course Classic FM has an article about the 12/20th. I'm a musician, numbers just... ClassicFM.com has an article called the 12 Funniest Viola Jokes. It says in their article that the viola is the butt of all the jokes in the classical music world, and I actually do think that is how it should be. Because, like, if you tell a viola joke to a violist, they might be like, yeah, that's actually kind of funny. But if you tell, like, a flute joke to a flute player, they might get a little more defensive about it because they're not as used to it. The violas can take it. This one I don't quite like. What's the difference between a viola and a coffin? Coffins have dead people on the inside. And, like, that's supposed to mean that the people who play violas are, like, dead, but I always just interpret this as, why did you kill this viola player? And then this next one, I probably just don't think correctly. What's the difference between a violist and a pizza? A pizza can feed a family of 4. And I do know that that's a joke about a violist's income, but it just sounds to me like they're trying to eat a violist, and one violist does not serve 4 people. It's dark. What's the only thing a violinist can do better than a violist? Play the viola. And then this viola joke I think we should just stop telling. How do you keep a violin from being stolen? Put it in a viola case. This is a violin case. That's a viola case. The size is pretty comparable. The size of this one's a bit different. Aren't you perfect? This one's kind of funny. What's the difference between the first and last stand of the viola section? Why must you mow your lawn? You always mow your lawn. Anyway, here's the joke. What's the difference between the first and last stand of the viola section? About half a bar. I think this one's kind of funny because it's true of pretty much every string section, at least in the student level, hopefully not the professional level. And then this is from MIT.edu. Is this like actually on MIT's website? So there's a lot of different variations of these what's the difference jokes. If you're gonna tell a viola joke and the only one that you can remember is what's the difference between a violin and a viola, try to memorize these 3 punchlines so that you can at least vary it a little bit. I'm just so sick of monotony. So what's the difference between a violin and a viola? A, the viola burns longer. Bonus points because that might be true. 2, the viola holds more beer, or a non-alcoholic beverage. And 3, you can tune the violin. I think this is a good one to end the video on. Why do violists stand for long periods outside of people's houses? They can't find the key, and they don't know when to come in. So these jokes are all in good fun. A lot of these viola jokes are funny because they're not really hurtful. The next time you tell a viola joke to a violist, please do try to use some of the less well-known viola jokes. Avoid viola jokes that are intentionally just mean, and be nice to your neighborhood violist. And that's all I have for you today. Bye!